And welcome to this week's episode of The Noted Podcast, where we talk about movies, TV shows, and things that we want to talk about. This week, we are reviewing a movie called Patch Adams. I am one of your hosts, Eric, and the other host here with me is Daniel.
Hello.
Hello! Small side tangent. How was your week?
It was pretty good.
When was the last time you went disc golfing?
Today.
Hey, nice. What'd you get?
It was garbage. It was
rough.
I biked up Grant Road, and
You biked?
yeah.
What possessed you to bike up a 45-degree hill?
Inspiration and thinking I could do it, and then immediately regretting it once I was there. But Mama didn't raise no bitch.
Wow.
I will say I didn't bike up the whole time.
You definitely walked.
I biked up a third of the hill, walked like the middle third, and then finished the last third.
I never biked Grant Hill. Like, I rode down Grant Hill.
Oh, riding down Grant Hill is phenomenal.
It's amazing and terrifying.
Oh, dude.
But
so much
up
fun.
it, dude? No, thank you. Okay. But this week, Patch Adams. One of the very first Robin Williams movie I saw, like, besides Aladdin. Patch Adams is, like, so good. It's just a good, not like quick overlay of the movie by any means, but like, well, I'll just give you a little setup for how the movie begins, right? So there's this dude sitting on a bus, and he's like super depressed. He gets
Sitting
home.
on a bus.
I'm on a bus.
Sorry.
No, you're good. He gets home, and then he's like, yeah, look at all them pills. They look tasty. And then he puts himself into the hospital. He admits himself into a ward. And that's where our story begins. His roommate is named Rudy, and he is afraid of squirrels.
Yeah, and he sees them.
And they attack him.
Yeah.
If he tries to get off the bed.
I'm assuming Rudy, just based off that, is schizophrenic. So, like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, and so he sees the squirrels, and they terrify him, and they attack him, like you said, every time he tries to, like, leave his bedroom. Or even get off the bed.
And so they have to, like, do, instead of, like, group therapy meetings, like, out in, like, the common room, they have to, like, go, like, into his room, like, him and Patch's room, so that Rudy can, have human interaction and not be terrified of squirrels all the time. And we get a lot of jokes and laughs because Robin Williams be doing Robin Williams things, so there's always comedy. Not always, but there's always comedy. And at one point, kind of towards like the end of like the hospital kind of scene, or like set, we see Patch Adams and Rudy going to war with imaginary squirrels.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Rudy has to go pee, and it's like late at night. They're sleeping, and he's like, but he can't get up to go use the bathroom because he sees a squirrel, and in the moment he gets up, multiple squirrels will all come up and attack him, and so Patch tries to talk him into like, hey, dude, for one, it's a squirrel. You're stronger than a squirrel. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
And tries to talk him through it, and he can't. And then Patch starts to move, and then Rudy tells him to stop. He's like,
no, wait!
The squirrel's up on your bed now. And this is when I thought Patch was playing into his illusions in an unhealthy manner at first. But then he shoots the squirrel and starts killing the squirrels, imaginary.
Yeah, massacring them with, like, multiple types of guns. You got, like, pistols, revolvers, like AR, kind of thing, and it's so good. They flip a bed, dude.
Oh yeah, they go like full bunker down RPG.
Yeah, like over the bed frame, like binoculars. It's amazing, but like the very end of that scene, they kill all the squirrels, and Rudy like rushes to the bathroom. They charge the rest area, and he gets to pee, which I mean we don't know since the last time he used the bathroom, but like I would imagine it's been a while. And so there's the moment when it's like the sweet release of urine. And then you also see um, Robin Williams, like Patch Adams, like a deep sigh, or like, like, I helped somebody,
Yeah.
like like I just did something in a place where like I I'm supposed to be being helped. I'm supposed to be helped. Like he helped somebody. And I think it's the sweetest thing because it just shows that like we can always help somebody no matter what kind of thing.
Yeah,
And
exactly. And that we are bigger than ourselves, that even at his lowest point,
mm,
that helping someone else, focusing on someone else, and
mhm.
it helps him move forward. And
Yeah.
he found his new passion and love for life in that
Yeah.
moment.
And I'm not going to lie, I completely forgot about the crazy like scientist dude.
Oh
Um
yeah, the dude who's like, how
quick
many fingers I
yeah,
got on my
yeah.
hand?
Do you want to talk about it or do you want me to?
Oh, you can.
He meets a really smart dude who quote unquote went crazy. So he walks around the hospital saying, "Well, how many fingers am I holding up? How many fingers am I holding up?" And then if someone answers 4, he's like, "4? No!" kind of thing. And so one day Patch walks into his room and is like, how many are there, like how many are there supposed to be? And he's like, no, you won't ever get it, like you're too stupid, you're a commoner. And then he fixes a leaking cup, and that's where he gets the nickname Patch. There's his
Mm.
origin story.
Mm-hmm.
But he tells him to like look past the fingers. And I don't know if you ever done this before, like
Oh yeah.
before like watching the movie, like you like relax your eyes and you can see like multiples of everything.
Yeah, I don't like. I think I haven't done it on my hand in a while, but I oftentimes will just unfocus is what I like to call them.
Yeah.
Like a camera, how it goes into focus and out of focus. I will unfocus my eyes so I'm not focusing on anything. Like I'm not actually directly looking at anything,
It's like,
and it puts everything into the fore view, but also into the background view, and then
yeah,
everything starts becoming like double. Yeah, I love to do that.
dude, it's like you're finally using both eyes to look at something instead of just like your collective eye. But yeah, that's like the secret behind the madness of this guy is like to like look past the problem and to think like essentially like think out of the box kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so then I think then he goes and he's like, I'm releasing myself, I'm getting out of here. And then the man decides to go into medicine. He then goes. He meets like the side cast. Essentially, you have Truman, which I love because like Truman Show. My brain
Truman's
always,
just a good bud, dude. Truman's
yeah.
like Truman's a G. That man
Truman's
is
so cool.
he's helped him in literally every way possible.
Yeah, he saw like the sweet mind of someone and was just like, ride or die, got him.
Oh yeah.
Like, I will help this person achieve simply just because I know that they have good intentions with all of their outcomes, kind of thing. I love Truman. Truman is so cool. And then you have Corinne,
A love
and
interest.
yeah, yeah, well, yeah. And then you have white hair, blonde or blonde hair, white guy with glasses. I always forget his
Oh,
name because I don't like him until the very end.
yeah, he's Patch's roommate when he gets there in
Yeah,
the first when he gets to medical school because he enrolls himself into medical school. Um, there's a time skip. We assume he went to actual college before that, before he got to medical
or
school.
he
But
already went to college. We don't know.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
he's there. He's in a dorm, and he's with this new first year in medical school who makes a comment about Patch being old. And this is the funniest thing to me, because bruh, his roommate looks just as old as Robin Williams does. I don't know
Yeah.
if they're trying. I don't know if the character is canonically like 25 or whatever, like a medical school student would be if straight out of high school, finished, got their 8 years, and then immediately went into medical school. Like, I don't know if that's like what it would like if that's what they're trying to show him, but that's kind of what I got. I'm like, this man, there's no way this man's 25. He's at least 35, pushing 40. Like, this dude looks old. And he's making a joke about Robin Williams being old. So I thought that was funny.
So yeah, no, I agree with that. Patch Adams was around like the year was like 1969, and then Patch Adams was born 1945. So if you want a quick maths that,
Patch Adams is supposed to be 24? No way.
I could see that at the like not like see that, but like I could see that at like the beginning of the movie.
Bruh.
No, it
He's
says
supposed...
Patch Adams was 24 when he was admitted into a psychiatric hospital, and dedicated to becoming or and depicted in the film, but he was played by a 47-year-old Robin Williams.
Yeah, and they even make a comment about him being old, and Robin Williams, like Patch Adams in the movie, agrees with him, but says it doesn't matter, and it's like, okay, well, that kind of I don't.
So
I
we found a
digress.
continuity error
Unimportant. Yeah.
through movie and real life. I'm about it. I
Unimportant.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, so we see him and Truman go out for a walk, and while they're on the walk, they start to talk about like, or Patch Adams, Robin Williams starts to talk about like treating patients for like who they are, and of course like what they're going through, but like for like who they are as a human, and making them feel like happy and like heard and felt and loved, and making sure that they're like known, right?
Yeah.
And so he starts to do this thing called the hello experiment, and it's just like walking past a stranger and like not like surprising them, like in the depiction of the movie he surprises an old lady and she like turns around and giggles towards him, but like in the actual experiment, which is called breaching experiment, it's literally just like walking up to someone and like saying hello, like not having a conversation or anything, but just like saying hi, and seeing like their response time and or like reaction to talking to a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
And it's super super cool because a lot I feel, because I walk to work every day, and sometimes I will, you know, meet people. I don't like meet people, but like I'll walk past people, and I'm always a person who like smiles and like nods, and like sometimes I'll say hi and stuff like that, or like good morning or something like that. And I would say probably 85% of the time I always get like a smile or nod or like response back. And
Some type of
I
recognition.
yeah, and I love it personally. Like I want to know like I want to know if it actually makes like a change in people's days. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he does that experiment, and then they like find themselves like just walking into like this cow convention where they do like a meat race, and like when I say like a meat race, they like put a slab of meat on like rolling pins, essentially like a conveyor belt, and they just it's like a Kentucky Derby for
Yeah, it reminded
pig
me of
butts.
like the like at they did it for Boy Scouts, and it's like when you would make your own cars
Yeah,
out of wood.
the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, is that what that's called?
Yeah.
Oh, we never. I don't know what we used to call it when I was a kid, but yeah, that it's Kentucky Derby with meat. Yeah. Continue.
Dang it. Derby. Nope, I'm wrong. Kentucky Derby's horses. Anyways.
We learned things today on Noted. Welcome. We now know the
Kentucky
age
Derby.
of a man, and we know Kentucky Derby is horses.
Hey. But yeah, so he gets this like thought process to like do that, and then he wins, and he's given like a lab coat, because you know how like butchers, they wear like the white coats.
Mm-hmm.
And then he like puts his hand over the like the little like patch on his chest, and he's like, "What's the difference between a second year and a third year doctor?"
It was a
A white,
first year and a third year.
yes, a first year and a third year doctor, and it's like a white coat. And then he
Scene
sneaks into
change.
the hospital and like walks around with third years and runs into children and like does Robin Williams things and is kind of like a clown in a
And he
sense.
cuts off. He gets a utensil and cuts its red. It's like a almost looks like a turkey beast.
Yeah, it's like the ball of a yeah, like a
Yeah, and
turkey squirter thingy. I don't know what
yeah,
they're called.
and
Baster.
he
Baster?
yeah
I don't know. Go
baster.
ahead.
And
Yeah.
he cuts off the end of it and opens it up like a clown nose, and he puts it on his nose.
Yeah. He keeps on like bugging Corinne like throughout this entire time. Like he's always trying to like kind of like poke at her and be like, "Hey, talk to me, like tell me about me, jokes, jokes kind of things, you know?"
And she is
Um
not about
nah,
it.
she ain't about it. She not
Like
about it.
there's one scene where he's with Truman, the roommate of his, someone else. I don't remember who it is, and then
I
and
don't think she ever has a name.
yeah, and then Patch, and then Corinne shows up, and they're all studying in the library. And when Corinne shows up, Patch starts like talking about the concept of what I think it was like having empathy with your uh with the patients, and
Mhm.
starts like kind of talking philosophical about why he thinks the way doctors are nowadays aren't isn't correct. And she's like, why isn't it, this is not part of what we're studying. This is not in the textbook. This is not in the rubric. This is not part of what I need to learn to become a doctor. So how about you shut up and stop wasting my time? And he
Yeah.
doesn't. So she gets up and leaves. And that interaction sums up her and Patch for the first like 30 minutes of the film probably.
Yeah, they are complete opposites for a while,
Yeah.
until he talks her in to going on like an Amazon like hunting experience, but with balloon animals for one of the patients. And I think that's kind of like the turning point for
Yeah.
her is like she sees like the enjoyment and like what uh laughter and like being recognized kind of because all of these people are just being treated for what is wrong with them, like in and out doctors just saying yep, this is what this is what that is, now you're gonna get a shot and all that stuff. So like they're just kind of sitting there waiting, you know. And so
And this
they
whole
go ahead.
time, like we were saying earlier, he's not actually supposed to be in the clinic.
No,
Only
no,
third
this
years
is
are
like
supposed to be
illegal.
there. Yeah, only third years are supposed to be there. And he continues to do this and gets warnings throughout the movie about
Yeah,
what he's doing is wrong. And the dean finds him, I think, before they go on their safari, because the dean sees him with like hears
yeah,
about him with
yeah,
kids,
yep, yep,
and
yep,
he's like, "I run this hospital.
yeah.
You can't be here.
He pretty
If
much
I,"
pulls the I am God card.
he's like, "Yeah, if you do this again, I will make trouble for you."
Yeah, which he then does
Yeah,
because he makes him set up a event for all the leading gynecologists of the state or like of the United States came to this hospital school to talk about vaginas. And Robin Williams, Patch Adams, gets the amazing idea to have the door, you know, and then legs. So like you enter the door and then like legs spread out. They're huge. I don't know how he made them. Doesn't make sense,
yeah. The
but
the
it's
door to the
hilarious.
auditorium,
Is a
but
vagina.
the walkway, yeah, yeah, the
Yeah,
walkway is
yeah,
two gigantic ceramic legs, pretty much, or like
yeah.
paper mache legs.
Oh,
Um,
it's good.
because the dean of students thought that giving Patch a dumb thing, uh,
Would kill his hopes or something.
yeah, and making him do dumb shit that he didn't want to have to do was going to be bad. Oh, which by the way, Patch is also like top two, top three in his class of test
Yeah,
scores.
yeah, he is the smartest. A part of me thinks I actually do really want to know if he cheated, because the part where by the way, his roommate is Mitch. When he walks into the room and he's like, you told them I cheated, right? Like, when he says that sentence, I don't know if that's a statement or a question.
I think it was a statement that you told him I cheated.
Yeah,
Not a admission of guilt, but a
yeah,
statement of you are
of
the
like
one
the
who
fuck.
said I did this.
Yeah, yeah. I like that. I like that. Yeah.
Is
No, I
how at
get that.
least I interpreted it. He gets told that he's cheating. The dean tries to kick him out, and he goes to like the head of the school.
Yeah, like the dean, like the
Yeah.
super dean. I don't know.
Um yeah, I never fully understand that.
President?
Yeah, they
It'd be the
cuz
president.
yeah, I don't know his actual cuz they call him dean as well, but then they call the other dude, there's a dude above the dude who's trying to make Patch's life terrible. That's really what you need to know in the end.
I'm
He,
another dude disguised as another dude playing another dude.
and he
All right, go
goes
ahead.
to him about, "Hey, this dude's trying to kick me out. This isn't fair. Like, I promise I'll be on my best behavior." And then like he's like, "Okay, well, you have good test scores. I understand why he doesn't like you, but also I keep every ear in that hospital. I know you're in the hospital, you shouldn't be, but I also know that you are improving the quality of life of some of our patients, even a disgruntled patient in 305 is
305.
hasn't thrown his bedpan at our nurses." And that gets us to 305 is this alluded to um
Devil.
patient, yeah, in the hospital that they allude to the first time that Robin Williams Patch is in the hospital, that he yells at them all. He's always super angry. He's rude. And Patch even talked to him one time, and he got like screamed out of the room. And
Yeah.
so
Start singing to him.
how Patch got on his good side is he came in with an angel costume and started
Yes.
like reciting books or poetry or a
He,
song. I
he
don't know
started
what it was.
so he started saying like sentence synonyms for like kicking the can.
Yeah,
Like
that's what it
kicking the
was.
rocks, the last man out the door, like
Yeah, he kept
till
saying
the
you're gonna
engine breaks
die
down.
in funny
Yeah.
ways.
Yeah.
And then they
It's one of my favorite scenes.
and the dude starts
Ow.
making the same jokes back with him, and they start making synonyms about him dying, and he ends up winning him over. Um, and so that's kind of why the dean is okay with him being there. And then this is when him and Corinne are talking. They're like going on a walk, and she asks him about the mental hospital. She pretty much
This is
asks him if it's true. She's like, "Hey, I heard a rumor about
Oh,
you,"
yeah,
and
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, "Oh, that I was in a mental hospital?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, that's it's true, and it's why I love what I love." And he kind of it's her seeing Patch for who he is in a greater light, because the whole time she's kind of anti Patch, anti men, and he's slowly like winning her over. And I think this is when they kiss for the first time too, right?
No.
No, this is when he tells her he has a
No.
crush on her. He
Yeah,
tells
this is when, cuz this is also when he tries to like ask her about like her life as well.
yes,
And
and
she's like on the steps and she's like, "Well, that wasn't nice," kind of thing or something like that.
yeah, because what happens is he tells her, "Hey, I have a crush on you," just blurts it out, and she keeps going, she keeps talking, and he's like, "You didn't make a comment about me having a crush on you?" He's like, "No." It says like, "So does that mean you do as well?" He's like, "No, I was just being polite." And he's like, "But you're not polite, you're rude, sometimes downright bitchy." And she laughs and says, "Good night, Patch," and
Yeah.
walks inside. And that's when he gets all giddy because he's making a
Yeah, he does his
breakthrough.
little dances and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Rewatching that part when he does his little dances, I actually don't like that part.
I love it. It just
Yeah.
adds to the goofy, free-hearted
It
nature of him.
it does. It also just makes the ending hurt more, so that's
Yeah.
why I don't like it.
They
Um, Go
they
ahead.
kiss later in another scene. I'm gonna go a little bit quickly over some of this because we're running a
Oh
little
yeah,
on a
bro.
little time. But He sneaks in later in another scene. He sneaks in and sees 305's on his deathbed. 305's wife and kids are there, and they leave out the door. And he sees him, and he tells Patch, "Aren't my sons beautiful?
Yeah.
Aren't my sons beautiful? Like, did you see my sons?" He's like, "Yes, I did. And your wife's not that bad either. She's a looker." And then he makes a joke about wanting to marry 305's wife when he
Yeah.
dies.
Yeah. Just to make sure that she's taken care of.
Yeah. And I think that's why the patients, at least the way the movie depicts it, why the patients love Patch so much is he's not treating them like someone who needs to be dawdled over, but treats them like a person
Yeah.
and listens to them and is genuine with them. And that's why 305
Yeah.
likes him, is because
He.
everyone's always walking on nails around him. And
Yeah.
then Patch just told him in 30 different ways that he's dying. And
Yeah.
he's like, I kind of like this.
He. I feel like he meets everybody where they are
Yes.
and just elevates. And that's all he does.
Yeah.
But after that part, he walks out and he sees a woman like at the front desk, kind of thing. Like, I need help. Like my daughter, like she's in a car accident. Like I don't know what to do. And she's like, nah, you just gotta fill out this paperwork. So this is when he finds
Because she wants to go
the
see her daughter, but she can't without filling
because she has
out
to fill
paperwork.
out insurance paperwork.
Yep.
So Patch gets the idea to open up the Gesundheit Institute,
Yeah.
where it's free Medicare and like everything is free. You walk in, you get help, and then your job is also to help others, because to be cared for, you must care for others, kind of thing.
It's like the
Um,
most hippie thing possible, and it's
it
beautiful.
is, and it's so good. It's all run off of love, man. You know.
Love and good vibes.
So while this is going on, little small flashback. There is a patient that's in the hospital at one point, cuts on his arms, and so his name is
Larry.
Larry.
Yep.
Yep. Fuck Larry. Fuck Larry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I hate him. Fuck Larry.
Well, and for what actually happened, I'm assuming that's true. I'm assuming
Yeah.
they didn't make that up.
Yeah.
I
But
haven't looked
go
up
ahead.
too far, but yeah, they see him in the mental hospital, and Corinne's like a little off put by him.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, he's weird. I'm weird.
Yeah,
If we don't-
everybody's funky.
He's like, if we don't show him sympathy, who will?
Yeah. And then Robin or Patch Adams and Corinne have like a super sweet moment. They're talking and Corinne like opens up about everything and that she can't trust people, and like men are just horrible because all they've wanted from her is assuming sex, and she's just hated it all. Like she hates men, kind of things.
Yeah, like said that
And
like men have always found her attractive her whole life,
yeah,
and that she's always hated them, never trusted them.
I'm assuming it ends with the first time they did it. Just saying, because they both wake up in like the same room.
Well,
That's what my brain equates. I'm just
So-
saying. Like romantic Eric says that's how the end of the night happens. Probably not, but like when I watch that movie and then they both wake up in the same room and he's watching her sleep from the end of the bed, it's either really fucking creepy or he just woke up next to her.
yeah, that is true.
And then
That-
he
they-
reads her the most beautiful poem in the world. Ah! Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was gonna say real quick before we go to the poem part.
Yeah.
She tells him how I've never trusted any man, and I didn't want to. I wanted to be done with them, and I didn't want them anymore. She understood who they were, and she just wanted to be a doctor.
Yeah.
She wanted the recognition. She wanted the coat. And she's like, until I met you. Because part of the thing is, she worked so hard to be a doctor, and Patch was pretty much saying, be a doctor with me here, without actually being called a doctor, without the
Yeah.
recognition of being a doctor, which is half of what Corinne wants. But
yeah.
she was
She
willing,
wanted the doctor in front of her name.
she wanted to be respected.
Yeah.
And so when they're on the porch talking, she's like, and I hated them and I was done with them, and then I met you. And he pretty much broke her whole perspective of men and
Mhm.
showed her that she can trust again, that she can love again. And then the next morning, the poem, if you want to take it from here.
Yeah. 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 Just a second. I'm not gonna read it because no. Um, but I will tell you the name of it. Because I think everybody needs to read it. It is called ba 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 bow Sonnet. How do you How does one Roman numeral XV11? That's 17, correct?
Yeah.
Sonnet 17, Pablo Nerdwa, Neruda. It is beautiful. It's so beautiful. I love it, and it's beautiful. Anywho, Patch has to leave. Corinne takes a call.
Yeah, they run out of supplies at the hospital, and Patch and Truman go to the hospital they run out at their clinic, so they go to the hospital to steal supplies from the hospital and take it back to the clinic.
And she she gets home, opens the door, sees there's a voice message. Voice message is, "Hi, this is Larry. Just wanted to call. I need some help. Someone could come down. I really just need to talk to somebody." And then Corinne goes. And the door opens creepily. She walks in without being invited in. And Larry takes her coat. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm not planning to stay for very long." And then Larry says, "Well, we better not be late." And then closes the closet door with her jacket inside of it. Patch Adams gets called to the president's office, or like the dean of deans office,
A dean's
and
dean.
dean's office, and he says, "Listen, man, I know what happened. Like you." He's like, "I know what I'm doing. I know I'm doing wrong. Like I'm stealing from the
Yeah,
hospital." He doesn't say that.
he's about to
Yeah, he's about to
incriminate
incriminate
himself.
himself. Yeah, 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 yeah. And he's like, "No. Last night, Corinne was murdered." Boom. Bah. Sorry.
The most
I
tragic part of this whole movie.
It hurt. Like literally go like explaining this movie out and just like saying those words like makes me like feel less happy.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not going to lie. It
it's
kills me on the inside and
the
it hurts.
it's so sad because his whole thing that he had been trying to like show Corinne and teach Corinne, and what she ended up learning from Patch was there is humanity in everyone and to trust.
Mhm.
And the moment she fully decides not just to trust Patch or Truman, but fully just decides to trust men and give someone sympathy and empathy,
She dies from it.
she dies, proving her own beliefs were kind of correct, not to always trust everyone. And it's the
Yeah,
saddest thing because obviously that's not necessarily how you should go through life, but like there's still truth to it. Like not not everyone is perfect. I think you should
I
definitely give sympathy to everyone and
yeah.
empathy, but like not
I will
everyone
also
has good
say
intentions.
I will also say taking um a phone call late at night from a stranger to for them to come over,
Yeah.
that's a bad call. That should be a gut.
Well,
That should be like a gut call. And she had already been like, "Hey, I think this guy's pretty creepy." And for her to go is courageous and beautiful
and
and shows that
it's
she has blossomed,
yeah.
and it's amazing. But I will say, in just general like common
Safety.
sense and safety, well, that's a better word than common sense. Safety. She's a woman. He's a man. If I were to be a woman in that situation, I would not go.
Or at least bring someone with you.
Exactly. Wait for
That
Patch or Truman to come home, and maybe there would have been like a better fighting chance, or maybe we would have had two murders. We don't know.
yeah. By the end
It's
of the
really
day,
sad.
her trust her want to give him help got her
Yeah.
killed, and Patch goes down goes down a spin.
Oh yeah.
He's about
Starts
to leave.
packing up and everything.
Yep, he tells Truman, I'm the reason that she died. He
He told her to
reads
trust people.
Yep, he reads the poem. So she has a funeral. He waits until everyone's gone, and then he reads her the rest of the poem, and then cries on her casket, which is gut wrenching.
Yeah.
And then he
Dude.
has a cliff like a
Oh, okay.
monologue at the cliff.
Okay. This I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how late you're staying up, or if you would want to podcast something a little bit in a second after this. It's just maybe a little bit more. That cliff scene has a lot of um. That's a big big cliff scene in my opinion. Like the fact that he says like he's talking to God at this moment,
Yeah,
or what is higher being that runs events among humans, whatever he believed in that moment. I'm not sure, but in that moment he's
yeah,
talking to God,
yes.
and he's saying like, why would you do this? Like why her, kind of thing. And he says, I think my favorite line in anything, and I mean 100% anything, I think this is the best line. He's like, on the seventh day you rested, but instead, like, maybe that day you should have shown us compassion, or something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing.
I think it's that you should have learned about empathy.
No, it's not empathy, it's compassion.
Is it?
Yeah, it's something about compassion.
Yeah.
Not companion.
But yeah.
I want to read. Go ahead.
Well, he then and that is a beautiful line. I do agree. And then he then turns around, and because it's pretty much like him at the cliffside about to kill himself, being like, what have you done for me? You've done nothing. You've only made my life harder. And then he's like, and he's about to kill himself. He's like, but it's not worth it. You're not worth it. I'm not going to do that. And then he turns around and sees a butterfly on his suitcase, I think it is.
Yeah, and she always wanted to be a butterfly so she could fly away.
Yep, in the scene where she's pouring her heart out to Patch, and we learn that Corinne, throughout her whole life, she always envied caterpillars because they get to hide away and then transform into a beautiful butterfly and fly away, and she always wanted to be that. Patch then sees a butterfly and has a moment with it and like holds it, and it's such a beautiful
Time out. My headset died.
It's a beautiful scene. And I think that it
just moved everything around. I don't know where the cord is.
Yeah, it's a beautiful scene. We'll see when Eric gets back. We'll continue talking.
Weird go for launch.
But he sees the butterfly, and it's so touching. And then he comes back to he goes back to the Gesundheit Institute, and goes back to the hospital, goes back to school, and continues again. And then that is when he gets
Mitch comes up to him and talks about a person not eating. He helps her with a pool of noodles, which was established earlier in the movie. And then man goes to medical
court.
Yes, he goes to medical court, which is
because he gets a letter saying he's not worthy of being in this school, and he's getting kicked out by the dean on terms of him practicing medicine without a license. And so he goes to Mitch, and he's like, hey, I need you to, how do I fight this? And he's like, well, go to the board. So they have like a medical court hearing in front of the board of directors of the school.
Yeah.
Or not of school, just in general, of people that get their licenses.
He then proceeds to give like super big, like a super big speech about treating the patient and not the disease, or like not treating the patient as a disease but treating the patient as a patient, and kind of just like what we've talked about pretty much through this whole video, simply just
Yeah.
because that's what it's about, is just to treat people not as like what they have,
But
but
who they are.
who they are. And I personally think in times of now being always crazy, treating people with compassion and love is always a step in the correct direction. Daniel, what are your thoughts about? Oh, fun fact: man graduates, gets his medical degree, happily ever after.
Yeah, he has
End credit
a
scenes, freeze frame. Ah.
he in the court real quick.
Yes.
Tons of kids and patients he's helped come in and put on red noses in
Oh.
support of Patch.
Yeah.
The way he gets around legalese of the performing help on people without a license. He's like, well, they're helping us too. Everyone there is
Yeah.
helping. He's like, so if that is what you if you think I'm treating a patient, then I am, but they're treating me as well. So you do with that as what you will.
Yeah.
Um,
We are all doctors.
yeah, and then end credits. So you're gonna ask
Yeah.
me what I think of it?
I'm going. Yeah. Sort of. First time viewer. What is like what what did you walk away with?
Um,
Like movie, like credits roll, you shut off your TV, whatever, go about your day. Like, did it impact you? Like, what did you feel?
I felt nothing. No, I'm joking. I
Lies.
I didn't
I'm not
expect the
gonna
movie.
lie. I would be like, Daniel, we're not podcasting anymore.
I
I won't.
I didn't expect it to be as much of a dramedy as it was. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I didn't know really what to expect outside of what the brief talkings we've had about it.
Mm.
And I've come to the conclusion this is really how you get. I Viewers, I'm stubborn. I don't like to watch or play things that people tell me to do. I'm stubborn. Eric has found a loophole in the system. This is how he gets me to watch movies.
Yeah. No.
Um,
This is exactly what this podcast is. Is me trying to get my friend to do things.
um, no, but jokingly, I didn't really know what to expect. I thought it was gonna be a story, a dramedy
Yeah.
about a doctor helping people. That's what I
Yeah.
expected. I didn't expect it to be his story of becoming the doctor to help people,
Mm.
which
Mm-hmm.
I thought was much more touching. And like, even though in real life the person was 24, the concept of him being later in life and deciding this is what I'm gonna do, this is how I'm gonna help people, and I'm gonna fight against the grain, and I'm passionate about what I'm doing. I don't care if others think I'm crazy. I have a true love for people. I
Yeah.
thought that was beautiful, especially because like
Yeah.
this isn't that I don't think this is as big of a problem maybe nowadays as it was back then, but you still got there's people in the medical field who don't do it necessarily for the love of people, but more for
Oh, I have examples
like
of situations like this. Like
yeah,
the first time that I had surgery on my back, that dude was not nice.
and
Like, I'm just gonna say it. That man was not nice. At least I don't remember him being nice. I didn't have a lot of interactions with him, but every time we left, I always felt very sad because it was just information being thrown at us and not like what can we do kind of thing, you know?
yeah, yeah.
It was just like, well, these are gonna be the procedures and kind of shit like that. Go ahead, sorry.
More talking with his brain and less with his heart.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
I think
yeah.
most people, when it comes to the medical field, have experiences with that. And that's not painting everyone in the medical field that way.
No,
I
no,
think
no.
I think everyone has their experiences where they meet someone who's like a Patch,
Yes.
and then they meet people who are like the Dean.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's just a beautiful movie of a lesson of how to treat people in general, and just a of the human experience, and I wasn't ready to cry. So thanks, Eric.
You're
Thanks.
welcome. Wait,
Um,
did I successfully get you to cry?
I shedded a tear or two. I didn't like cry, but
Fucking
I
achievements.
shedded a tear or two.
Don't underplay it. You cried. It's fine, Daniel. It's
Um,
okay.
but it
Okay.
was a really good movie. I don't know. I don't think it's my favorite Robin Williams movie. Still,
Makes sense.
I overall really liked it. I thought it was a very touching movie, very sad movie, but a very touching movie.
Okay, so your takeaway is treat people better?
Yeah, just treat people like people. What's your feeling about this movie?
Oh, my feeling is the same feeling every time. I watch this movie and I walk away thinking, um, how can I make my life better by making other people's better? Not in like a let me gain off of helping you, but like I know that when I talk and chat with people and like actually talk to people and not just like small talk like you know,
Yeah,
like I feel better. Human interaction fuels me. And I know that I'm an introvert, but like when I want to extrovert, I get overcharged. And I this movie inspires me to just be extroverted because seeing what one man did in a theatrical display um in his 47 years, because I think he was done being a doctor around that time. I don't know, pulling numbers out of my butt, but I know he's not a doctor anymore. Um, like it's just nuts that he like decided to find his passion, and his passion was against medicine. And medicine is like forever old. You know, it's like go back to the beginnings of human and we have medicine like herbal, like medicine, doctors, people healing each other kind of thing.
yeah,
And he decided to go against that because he saw something that was wrong with it. And like he fought like through it all, like losing people that were like a part of him, and still decided to push forward just because like that was it, and that's like that was the passion. And I hope that he's still doing that passion, and it just inspires me to like be happy and be kind and love people
yeah.
and make sure that other people know that they should do that, because I don't think a lot of people know that they should do that anymore. I think a lot of people nowadays like you need to be happy, so fucking be happy, or like push things onto people,
Well,
you know?
I
And
think
I don't like that.
I think what happens is people get caught up
Yeah,
in
facts.
the day-to-day minutia, the monotony, the
Minutia.
the day-to-day things that, I mean, unfortunately, that we have to deal with, and bills and work and like
Ah,
the
fuck.
shit we have to do to be in a working society. But like those things at the end of the day aren't what's really important, but it
Mm-mm.
consumes us, and we
Facts.
forget to
That we're
look.
human.
Yeah, we forget that the people we're angry at, the people we're talking to, they're human, and they're also like, they're not perfect. They're also dealing with their own shit. And so
No.
I think it's so easy to just like
Tunnel
desensitize
vision.
and like pull your heart, your empathy, your humanity out of it sometimes, and just be self-centered. And so I feel like this is a movie of like, pull your head out of your ass and look at someone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts. I like that.
And he told
Daniel's
in
first quote.
pull your head out of your ass and look at someone else. 2022. Woo woo.
2022.
Put that
I know
put that on
I
a
know I
banner when I
laughed at
run
the
for
end of that,
president.
but like dead ass, I really like that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, put that on a banner when I run for president in
Put it on a
4 years.
plaque.
Oh, dude, I'd love that on a plaque. Hey, fan, you know who I'm talking to.
Singular
You know who I'm talking to.
fan.
Make me
Yeah,
a
that's right.
plaque. You
A
know who I'm talking
plaque.
to.
You know who.
I'm keeping your name.
Brother. Bone size ready.
Boom saw.
I'm gonna
Okay.
squash you like a bug.
I think this is
This
we've
is it.
yeah
Yeah,
I
we've
think
gone over by a half an hour.
we've
And I'm not gonna
entered.
lie, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I didn't think once we hit 25 minutes, I'm like, we haven't even gotten halfway through this checklist.
No,
There's
we
no way.
haven't, dude.
There's no way we're finishing this in 30,
Dude,
40
it's
minutes. But
like-
that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
Not everything has to be timed.
this is my favorite movie. I'm not gonna lie. I have like I have deep-seated code. Like if I were to be a robot, like this movie would be code for me.
Okay.
Like I don't know if you understand how much this movie means to me.
No, I mean,
Like,
I know
It's really
shaped you
hard
as
for
a
me
person
to it
from
it
an
is
early age.
dude, it did. It really shaped me like to just like yeah, people are going to tell you to like grow the fuck up and like, you know, be serious and like get your shit done and like yeah, you need to do all of it, but it's like at the expense of like laughter and like humor
Happiness?
and love and like I feel like this movie is a great representation of someone that like went through a traumatic experience, depression and like suicide almost, to like finding a new love.
Yeah.
For himself, but also for people, and I think it's beautiful, dude.
It is.
It's
it
it's
is
one of
so
my
beautiful.
it's just it's so good, and I hate that I just keep on like re-saying that it's just like so good and it's so beautiful because like I have no other way of like verbally communicating how much this movie means to me, so it's like really shitty for just language because there's a lot of hand motion going on right now.
I think this is a great place to wrap it up, though.
Yeah, that's facts. Sorry.
Eric loves this movie.
I can oogle over this
yeah.
movie forever.
And there'll probably be another podcast where we will. If there's
Yes.
one thing we love to do, Eric, it's we like to talk about the same shit.
It's because the same shit can always be appreciated for
It
more.
can always be. I mean, dude, one of these days, the Noted podcast is gonna do a live stream, and we're gonna talk about Naruto because we can't do that in an hour. It's gonna be like a
No.
5-hour conversation.
That's facts. That is correct.
There's no way you and I could do something about
Let's
Naruto
run down all 742 episodes.
without it
We
being
can
like
do
a long ass thing. Well, plus it's like
That's
we
my
always
Nindo
jump,
way.
but Nintendo. So that has been this week's of the podcast. Thank you for listening, because that's our Nindo way.
You better believe it.
Oh, God damn it. You should watch out for next week's episode, because we're going to be watching The Circle. You can find it on Netflix. That is not sponsored, but sponsor me, Netflix.
Yeah, put
it's-
us on your first podcast.
It's made in 2015, and it's
What?
on Netflix. Go watch it. Like, follow, subscribe, comment, goodbye.